So what's up, guys? This is One Giant Rebuttal, back with another video. Welcome to the courtroom. As you can see, I've got my Ron Dane Beanie Baby. Yes, that is a Ron Dane Beanie Baby. People asked me to put more props and or giant stuff in my videos, so I thought I'd give it a shot for this one. As you can see, we're going to be rebuttaling Roneffect. I'm going to let him talk for about a minute here. I'm going to start about a minute. He gets his point across pretty quickly. I'm basically gonna go from 1 minute to 4 minutes. You're gonna hear him. I'll leave a timestamp in the video if you guys just want to hear me talk. And obviously, as normal, I will leave a link in the description for Ron's video, if you guys are curious to hear the rest of what he had to say in the video.
Couple things. So these are some quotes verbatim. So from the questions asked, Dave Gettleman's response was that he didn't call anybody. He didn't call anybody. They called him. All right. So you're saying you didn't call anybody. They called you, Dave Gettleman. And then you went on to say, except for the Buffalo Bills. So to continue that, you say for the Browns, containing to the Cleveland Browns, they knew it was going to take a boatload to get Odell if they were serious about it. It was going to take a boatload. And then you went on to say, you didn't sign him to trade him. You know you didn't sign him to trade him, but got an offer you couldn't refuse. That's the part that like really kind of got me. I'm not saying as far as like got under my skin, because I like you, Dave Gettleman. I really do. I know how everybody's like, treating you, and I'm giving you a chance because results aren't even here yet. These are just moves that you think are going to get results. So we'll talk about it after the 2019 season. That's going to dictate everything. But for you saying that you got an offer you couldn't refuse, you're telling me a first rounder, a third rounder, in safety Jabril Peppers was an offer you couldn't refuse? Like, you're in control. I've said this before. You're in control of this. You know what I'm saying? That trade. You're in control. So it's like, for you saying that that's an offer you couldn't refuse, I'm guessing you're thinking that's the best offer you got. Also, you said something about leverage. You said, what was it? I wrote it down. You lose leverage if you call around offering a player. Well, for one, you say you didn't sign Odell to trade him. You said that you're not shopping him. But apparently you called the Bills. And I guess for, an ego reason, you're better swallow your pride, or everything's done already. But for your ego and your pride, you lose leverage. No, it is not with Odell Beckham Jr. It don't work like that. These aren't scraps. It's Odell Beckham Jr. So if there's teams out there that want Odell Beckham Jr., it's like you're not going to lose leverage because they're fiending for him. You have the player. It's not something that you're not going for something that you want. They're coming at you for something they want. So if anything, they're giving you these offers or whatever. And it's been reported you laughed at the Cleveland Browns' first offer. Oh, you laughed at it. And then you took this one? The part that you're saying is an offer you couldn't refuse. You definitely could have. Or also, with swallowing your pride, you don't want to make calls or whatever. You did it for the Bills, so I don't know why you didn't do it for the Browns or whoever else offered you something for Odell Beckham Jr. If anything, state what you should have had that mindset too. If you want to call for Antonio Brown, you should have had that mindset with the Browns. Because if it was me, I would have said, Jarvis Landry, Denzel Ward, like something like that. Like, something of the same caliber, not trying to disrespect Jabril Peppers. Hope he has a great season with the Giants. But an offer you can't refuse, I thought it was about quantity, not quality. Reverse that. Sorry, I thought it was about did I say that right? Yeah, quality, not quantity. So, because you said boatload. When I hear the word boatload, I'm thinking a lot. Like a lot in proportion. So you got two picks at a player. Like, I'd rather have two players or two high picks. Like, I'm trying to think of how, like, a boatload?
So, as you can see, Ron had a lot to say. But when I'm talking about Roneffect, I feel we're talking about somebody who has a tendency to think with his heart over his head. And as a Giants fan, as being a passionate Giants fan, sometimes it's really, really hard to be objective to something. Or see the betterment for something. Or see the positive move in something. You can tell he feels slighted. He feels that Dave Gettleman didn't get enough for Odell. And a lot of fans feel like that. And like I said with Kid Blue, you guys hold Odell Beckham Jr. in higher regard than what his value actually is. I get that he's a top 5 wide receiver. But when I look at great players, when I look at transcendent players, I notice players that actively take a role on their team and they make everyone around them better. Okay? So when I see somebody like a Ray Lewis, he made everybody around him better. When I see a Michael Strahan, he made everyone around him better. When I think of Barry Sanders, he made everybody around him better. Does Odell do the same? I would say no. His antics and what he says and how he says it really negatively affects the team. And I get you see the production on the field, but I don't see a person making everyone around him better. Because he didn't. And you guys, and like Ron, we hold a lot of people hold him in higher regard, and that's a fatal flaw. So he feels slighted. He doesn't feel that Gettleman got enough. And what I'm going to say to Ron is, look at the trade. Really evaluate it, because you can't truly evaluate it until you see 2-3 years down the road. And I can see you're angry, you're frustrated because you're like, well, we'll see after the 2019 season. No, we won't. And the reason I say no is because that's not enough time. Ron, this team has been in a mess for a good 8 to 10 years because of bad drafts. Almost direct correlation from when Dave Gettleman left. I'll argue that even though we had success under Jerry Reese, when Gettleman was still here, things looked good. And when Gettleman left, Jerry Reese draft suffered, the Giants suffered, and we built the team wrong. The Giants are all about offensive line and defense. They have been. That's the staple of our franchise. And we got away from that. And no matter what anybody says, you can build a competitive team with offensive line and defensive line. You build from the inside out on both sides of the ball. And I'm fine with what the Giants got in this trade, to be totally honest with you. I'm absolutely fine with it. Because there's a direction here. Now, not everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to be blind to it because people are still overvalue Odell Beckham Jr. And they'll argue to me until the day they die. And I don't wish anything on Odell. I wish hopefully he does have a successful career. And I hope he lives up to the player that I think he can be. But he still, even at 26 years old, has a lot of growing to do. So, Ron, when we talk about you, I implore you, sometimes step back and be objective. Because I know you feel slighted because you feel lied to. When one of your favorite players and you're told, hey, we didn't sign him to trade him. And then all of a sudden you turn around and you find out he has been traded. You feel slighted. You feel angry. You feel frustrated. And if they did that with Saquon Barkley, I'd feel the same way. But as a Giants fan, be objective. Keep an open mind. Because if you don't, you'll fall down into this spiral of frustration and anger. He says trust the process because he's right. The Giants have a ton of holes on this team, Ron. And we probably got better for it. Because, let's face it, let's say we get a great defender at the 17th pick and another solid starter in the third round, which is feasible. And Jabril Peppers becomes, which I already think he is, a better safety than Landon Collins. Did we lose that trade? If we make it back to I don't think we'll make the playoffs this year, but if we make it back to the playoffs the year after, or next year I should say, did we lose that trade? If we improve this year, did we lose that trade? So give it time and evaluate it then. Either way, guys, it's been One Giant Rebuttal. Please like and subscribe, and go Big Blue!